without notification. Sorry for starting all of a sudden. This is a good camera though. Wait for me. For those who are watching later, bear with me. I have to let people know that I'm live through X because I'm using my iPad to be able to log in. Wait, it's not reflecting my live stream yet. I'm live though, right? Hold on. Ooh. Okay. Okay, it's working, I think. Let me open it. Is it just me, but YouTube Live sucks? The system and like how it's heavy and it's not user friendly and it doesn't start on my phone. I guess there's the delay. Plus, I hear airplane. Oh my gosh. Every time, man, every time there's an airplane, my Wi-Fi is slow. Okay, I can see myself. Yes. Yes. Cool. Wait, how do I see my comments here? Oh, this is a chat thing. Can I not see that in real life? Huh? Is this it? No, that's highlight. Detach. Oh, I look beautiful now. Look at this filter. Okay, without it, this. With it, oh, I'm beautiful. All of a sudden. Chat. Oh, okay, now I see it. Cool. Okay. Hi, guys. Wait. I have to tweet. That's what I was gonna do, opening my smartphone. That's what happens nowadays, right? Like you pick up your phone and try to do something and forget because you are distracted. Okay, let me tweet. I mean, post on X. I still don't get used to it. Okay. I'm live. Wait, it's not capitalized. I'm live now. Wait, bigger character. Make it bigger. Sorry for those who are watching later. Okay, I'm live now. Okay, good. Now I look beautiful, and now I tweeted, so it's good. I should probably use Ecamm Live on my laptop. That's what I want to do eventually, but my laptop keeps making sounds, so that's why I am on my phone today. Okay, since I'm the first person here, I'm therefore king of the comment section. Yes, you are. Hello guys. Do I look gigantic? Can I steal your cushion here? I should. Okay, sit on a cushion. Okay, that looks better. Yes. So, how are you guys? What was I doing? I was reading this. Does it have English? Oh, it does. Wait, where's the camera? This is a book that I'm recently reading. 100 Atrocity of CCP in Tibet. In your face. It is very important because China always talks about, all the atrocity by Japan. But this is a list of the things that China is doing right now. We gotta all learn, right? So what did I put in the title? Trump on Ukraine. Oh my gosh, guys. It is getting hard to support Trump. It is really sad. I wish that he wouldn't just talk about Ukraine anymore. It is making me difficult to support him because he is so. I understand that he doesn't want to use American people's tax money on Ukraine like the Democrats are doing. He doesn't want to do this in the same way, and I understand that. And also, I understand that the war wouldn't have broken out if he were in the office. I understand that. And I also understand that he wants to say different things, like opposite things from Harris. I get that, but Ukraine, it's a complex issue, and not not money is everything. And that has just recently he made a comment that Ukraine. I don't exactly know the phrase that he used because I watched. I mean, not watch. I saw the news. Like I read it in Japanese, so I don't exactly know what kind of expression that he used. But in Japanese translation that I can see, he said that basically Ukraine cannot win, and that uh, like he feels sorry for Ukrainian people, but basically like he doesn't want to support Ukraine. That's what I read. What did he? Wait, I should know at least in Japan. Like I saw that a few days ago. I don't exactly remember what he said. Trump, Ukraine. Oh yeah, he said that Ukraine will lose, and also like he made it in the way that like Zelensky is the bad guy for starting the war. Like he said something on the line, like it sounded wrong. That Zelensky shouldn't have started the war. It's not Zelensky, it's Russia. Some people are saying though that it's Ukraine and blah blah blah. And why do you believe Putin? Let's see. Just got done watching the reenactment at Sekigahara. What is that? Something about Sekigahara. All the news I've so far: Kamala's interview with Brett Bayer, Trump's comments on Ukraine, North Korean troops, yes, in Ukraine, and the third assassination attempt on Trump. Yes, exactly. All what I've been interested in recently. Yeah, thank you for your topics. Thanks for the topics. Yep. I didn't get to see the interview with Kamala, but so I can't really make a commentary about it. But yeah, Trump's comments on Ukraine, that's a disappointment for us Japanese. We stand with Ukraine deeply. We are strongly standing together with Ukraine. And it doesn't matter if you're on the right side or left side. Only the extremists, both on the right side and left side, they love Putin for some reason. It's not really about the money in Japan. It's about ideology and like your political position, right? And both extremists in Japan, doesn't matter which side they're on, whether they're on the right side or left side, they somehow admire Putin, and they speak ill of Zelensky, meaning Ukraine. And I'm like, can't you just notice, by, saying the same thing as the opposite side, extreme right, extreme left, saying the same thing. Something is wrong, right? And they never notice. So that's been our problem. Yes. And yes, North Korea. Is it like what we had heard originally was that North Korea would send like tech guys, those who can do technical things. That's what we thought. Like that sort of soldiers would be sent from North Korea. That's what we thought. But it's the actual soldiers that go to the front line of the battlefields. And what that tells me is that Russia doesn't have soldiers anymore. There are like they can draft, but they don't want to do it. Putin doesn't want to do it because if he withdraws what is withdraw is the word, like if draft, I mean, if he drafts more Russian people in Russia, then he would get attacked from within, right? Like the war has been going on, and the reputation of Russia is going down among the G7 and other like developed countries. You know, those countries that are on the free world. We see Russia negatively, and the Russian people, like citizens, they don't like that, right? And they don't want to go to war too. So North Korea comes in. North Korea, as you know, is a huge enemy for Japan. Kim Jong Un and his dad, the dad of him, and like Kim family has been our freaking enemy. They still have our Japanese citizens, like ordinary Japanese people, hundreds of them, it said, are missing. They were abducted by North Korea. It's officially our government admits like a bit less than 20 people, but still, it's allegedly like there are over like nearly 10,000 people, like 886 or so Japanese people are missing, and they are said to be captured and I mean abducted by North Korea. Like we can't get rid of the possibilities, and the list is on the website of our police. So, and also North Korea keeps developing their nuclear weapons, and when they do the experiment, they launch their missiles to the Japanese side because they live in North Korea is located in the peninsula, right? And then the only way that they can launch is Japanese side. So that happens often. So that's why we get alerts on our phone, like, oh, another missile from North Korea. That's our everyday life. They're our enemy, and now they are invading into Ukraine. Clearly, we are with Ukraine, and it's unfortunately, it's like it's not officially the World War III, but it's just what's happening. So like the weird thing is that Trump saying that, oh, Zelensky, you know, accusing him. What about Kim Jong Un? What is he gonna say about Kim Jong Un? Because he's with Putin invading into Ukraine. How is he gonna stop him? That's what I want to hear, rather than, you know, speaking negatively about Zelensky and Ukraine, because they are the aggressor, not Ukraine. Ukraine just wants to protect what's theirs, right? And we have to actually go back into like Crimea. We gotta take back Crimea too. Why do we tolerate that? Stupid Obama. Yeah. So North Korea, like seriously, North Korea is in such a good place right now, don't you think? Like so Putin needs help, right? He needs money, he needs soldiers, he needs like weapons and so on, and now he's basically begging to North Korea, right? I don't know how it works between them, like who is stronger, but now North Korea is in a good position, and now I'm pretty sure that he is really happy to be part of that circle. You know, finally, he is needed finally on their authoritarian side. So it's interesting though. If let's say that Trump gets picked, at least Trump has been strict against North Korea, but his level is not good enough for Japanese people though. Of course, like our prime minister needs to do a good job, but you know, here's the weird thing about America. America wants us to be strong, but America doesn't want us, Japan, to be too strong. America doesn't want Japan to get too strong. Like, want us to be strong, but not too strong. We're like, okay, what's the level? Like, okay, we have to listen to you, you know? There's a struggle. we were growing economically. America stopped it. Clinton passed us and went to China. So that's why we had to go to China too. Okay, Democrats, they are such like a politically criminal-ish. I don't know the word. Like they should be responsible for all the things that have happened. After the World War II, at least, like the flow of time that I can see, it is really wrong. But is Trump is so busy attacking Kamala Harris, so busy that he is kind of derailing, in my opinion. He should stick to the bigger picture, like the world picture, instead of Ukraine, only, so that other countries can respect America and work together, Oh, Super Chat, thank you so much. Nate, hello. Thank you so much for Super Chat. Yoko, Ohio, Ohio. Yoko looks elegant and 21 as always. Thank you. I am on my iPad right now. I have a phone though. It's awesome because I have a hub like this. This is a different one that I'm using, but like I have another one on my iPad, and I have a microphone here connected, and plus this YouTube iPad app somehow has the enhance thing that making my skin looks better. Thank you always for your compliment. Yeah. Putin saw weakness and took his chance. Exactly. Because I really wish that Biden. I'm almost forgetting his name because he's so out of the picture. But Biden said at the very beginning of the war, that basically, I don't remember the exact phrase, but he said that there will be no World War III, right? That he doesn't want to start the World War III. And why did he say that? So silly. That's like, the situation was already bad, and he he put oil into it, to burn more. Like, why? Now Putin knows that, oh, America will not do anything. Right? I mean, what's good about Biden administration, I would say, is that at least Biden administration is engaging in the war and giving money, giving equipment and so on, or weapons, and that is deraining. What's the word? Like, it's exhausting Russian side as well. We are exhausted, right? Ukrainian soldiers are dying. We are tired. People get attacked and get casualties, and we are sick of all these damages. But at the same time, it's actually mutual, and Russian side is getting, they are getting like tired, damaged, and everything. So it's goes to both sides, and so Russia's power is shrinking. So that is good. That is one good aspect. The bad side, the negative consequence of that, though, is that now, because Putin led Russia is shrinking in a way politically. But then, because of that, he seeks help for all angles. Now North Korea is in, and they're attached to Iran and other countries. China, they're all connected. Their solidarity is getting more firm and strong. That's the negative consequence the Biden administration should think about. Because this is all about consequences, right? Politics is all about results. What kind of results Biden is making? Right now, things have gotten worse. North Korea is in the picture. And North Korea doesn't help one sidedly. Russia is probably giving things in return. The last time I checked, Kim Jong Un was receiving like, the space technology and whatnot, like technology that North Korea doesn't have, but Russia has. Putin gives them, right? So basically, our enemies, like, even though Russia's power is kind of, they are getting tired from the war, but then they are thus nurturing other countries, giving other countries like North Korea presence internationally. That is so bad. I think she has bad information about the war, Kamala. Ukraine is not innocent. Oh, me? You mean me? Ukraine is not innocent. No country is innocent, man. speak, speak for yourself. How about your country? Huh? You don't have the right to say stuff like that. And so what? Zelensky or Ukraine is like not like, so what? They are not innocent. This war is against Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, and that sort of authoritarian countries. And why are you? We are in the middle of the war. And why are you attacking our allies? So stupid. It is stupid, okay? I I hate it every time people say like, but Ukraine is this and that. Shut up. Just shut up. It's so ridiculous. We are in the battlefield together. Yeah. Where's the enemy? Yeah. And bam, you get shot from behind. You don't do that in war. We are in a war. Yeah. Politically corrupt is the term you're looking for. Oh yeah, Biden. Trump needs to win. He needs to do whatever he needs to do. Pelican stuffed animal. Oh yeah, this is shoebill stork. Have you seen a shoebill stork? It has a little hair back here too. It's realistic in a way because they do have this at the back. Shoebill stork. They're like a dinosaur. So cool. I want to show the face. Yes. But yeah, Trump is of course good, like, I mean, I want to support Trump, but I just good thing about Trump is that he has this strong presence so that authoritarian countries cannot behave the way that they are doing right now. So that's one good thing. But for Ukrainian people, it sucks. For Asians, if I may be brutally honest with you, of course there are, if, let's say that if Trump drops Ukraine, right, completely, just goodbye Ukraine, then what happens is that he will focus on Asia. He will focus on China, and it's the world attention will be like Israel situation will go on, but they just do, they always do that. They're always fighting. But Asia, so focusing on China, and then it will be about our main concern will be the world hegemony. And that's, in a way, that's how it should be. But when we consider that, at least Japanese people, what we are thinking about is that if we just let Putin win this war, that means what that means is that we just gave in to the force of power. Like how should I say it? Like we let put that would mean that we let Putin change the status quo by force. And that kind of premise, not premise, precedent, if we create an example like that, that will be the common thing from now on. If we make that sort of example, okay, so we want to take this land, but it's actually theirs, but we can go in militarily because they will not fight back. Let's do that. Let's continue for a while so that they will give up. Okay, let's do that. And it will happen everywhere. And that's the because this is politics, and it's all about like what happened when, and based on that we would do this and that, and we we put meanings politically, and so it's gonna be chaotic. Yeah. Let's see. Let's look at your comments. Zelensky went to Europe saying Trump approved of him requesting nuclear weapons. Not sure if it's true or not. Oh, interesting. Hmm. But I did see somewhere about Ukraine and the nuclear weapons. Yeah, it was somehow a bit on the topic here too. I didn't really look into it, but I guess that's the reason. Why? Let's see. Trump is America first, then it's allies. Yeah. But the thing is, what Americans should be aware of, in my opinion, is that you may think, like, I mean, the world is watching. Those who are familiar with politics would know the difference between Trump and Kamala Harris. But if you ask Japanese people on the street, what do you think of America? Do you know Trump? Do you know Kamala Harris? They don't know the difference. That's just harsh truth. Okay? And to ordinary Japanese, I'm an expert, right? Like, you may not think of me that way. You may think that I'm just a YouTuber. I'm an expert on all these things. I give commentary to media, but and I'm a journalist too. I write articles. But if you ask people, ordinary people here, they would just think that, oh, it's a new leader of the US. But wait, America was doing this before, now they're doing this? And to diplomatically speaking, okay, so we were siding with Biden, like America is our biggest ally, right? So we are in a good team with Biden right now. We are on the same page, doing the same things. Japan is supporting Ukraine, like physically too. We are giving a lot of money, a lot of weapons. Oh yeah, weapons we we sent to America and then to Ukraine, but because we have restrictions. But so we are doing similar things, right? So let's say Trump gets in and dramatically change the policies. What happens to us? We we were told by America to do these things, right? In a way, like we were voluntary, of course. Like we changed the game. We participated in the war from the beginning, and the war became worldwide. Kishida did that. It's because again, like to us Japanese, China is a threat. What China is trying to do is to invade, to like they want to take Taiwan. So they are like they keep doing military exercises, and who knows when the military exercises turn into an actual war one day. And they are doing the same thing as Putin is doing to Ukraine, basically. It's just that it hasn't officially started yet. It will happen. We just don't know when. Because they are eager, they are passionate to take the up to the Pacific Ocean. You remember when Chinese some official said back in 2008 or so, they said that they want to part the ocean, the Pacific Ocean, into half. One side America, one side China. That's their vision. It's so ridiculous, you may think right now, but they are serious about this. So Japan is really serious when it comes to like all this change of status quo by force. That's why we are really, because after Ukraine it will be Taiwan. So that's what we think. So how we deal with Putin means a lot politically, and that's why we dived in. Yeah. Where was I? Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, so what I'm trying to say though is that yeah, America is America, whether whatever you think about it. And so that's why like because America's policy changed like from the right to the left to the right, we are thrown away each time. Of course, like we need to get stronger, right? If we are stronger than America, then we won't have to deal with this swing, political swing. But still, just this is how it is. But what I'm saying is that Americans should be aware that the world sees America as America, whoever takes the power, whoever is sitting in the White House. We don't care. The world doesn't care in that sense. America. So that's something that it's related to trust issues. That's why like Americans are not trusted much in the world, because yeah. Let's see, anything else to talk about? The southern border and immigration is more important. Yeah, it's so ridiculous that the border is open. Another thing I'm really weirdly out by America is that the voting system. Like every time, whichever side wins, like even the Democratic side says like, "Oh, it's stolen," right? It's not. It was not the first time that Trump is saying like, "Oh, they stole the votes," but the left side has been saying the same thing every time, like they lost, right? So I'm like, fix the voting system. But somehow that argument, that debate is not happening in the US, and that's weird to me because our voting system here is really, really accurate. You can, it's almost impossible to do frauds here. So, yeah, because it's everything is done by hand. Some people say like, oh, let's go to like online voting. People are against it. And also, like we can all write names and kanji, like characters, complex characters. So we have to write it out instead of marking and so on. Yeah, I don't know, like why, why? And I really like Elon Musk even was posting something about that too. I really recommend Japanese system. But the thing about politics though is that you have to do everything. You can't prioritize. Oh, this is that, and I mean, priority is there, of course, but it's about the policy wise, like what to do, that kind of priority, and you have to protect your border and also do things overseas as well, because all countries are doing that. Like the problem that I have with some of the people here that are commenting is that you are extreme. You are thinking in an extreme way. Dualism. You know where dualism comes from? It's from your religion. It's good and bad. What's like heaven and hell, good and evil. Like Americans' way of thinking is it's all dualism. We Asians, we think about each things. We have many gods. We believe in many spirits, and we think about the balance of the world instead of focusing on one thing. So that's why the East and West have to merge and think about things in the big picture. You guys are good at analyzing like small things and you know this part, but we look at the big picture. So whenever I see like really focused discussion, I'm like, Are you blinded? So yeah. UX taxpayer money spent on US citizens. That's the ideal. But investing in other countries and, engaging in wars overseas is important. It is for you. Like some the military industrial complex era to now, it's all about, oh, this only these people are making money, but it's actually pushing your economy. We don't have that luxury here in Japan because you prohibit us. You know, it's so ironic. Like it really frustrates me. You were saying like, oh, we don't want to make weapons anymore. Oh, we should focus on domestic policy. Blah 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 blah. Meanwhile, you are stopping us from growing, and you are complaining about the system you have, which we don't have. Are you freaking kidding me? Ah, oh, so silly. Oh, Symmetra, thank you. America is a big country and has a short history with a experimental governmental style. You are right. We need to change the voting system. Yeah. Seriously. Okay, so in Japan, what we have is what you first of all you need to look into our system called koseki. 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 Because of that system, we know who we are. It's weird to say that, but we are conservative people might not like it though because we are managed, right? City hall. If you go to city hall, our individual information is there stored. Like so I come from this family. Like I'm Ishii family, and if I go to the city hall, I can get from where I come from too. Like from the Democratic Party here, they cut that though, so that's we can't really go back in time anymore. But for several generations, we can go back to see who we are, where we come from, and so on. And so that's like a socially credible, you know. So I can't really explain that well, but it's all about family line and so on. And on the top of that, like based on that, we have identification. And our identification to begin with, like before voting, just identification in Japan is really, really good. Everybody knows who we are, where we are, and everything. It's all like we make sure that we submit all kinds of papers from the moments that we are born. We have to tell the society. And and then based on that, when we go to voting, it works. I don't know where to start though for America because there are lots of illegals. So ridiculous. Oh, hello, John. John's here. Hide is not here today. He should be back soon. We have to concentrate on our own safety first, otherwise, we would not be able to help our allies for much longer. So, you have to stop everything? You're extreme. No democracy. Yeah. Yeah, that's the hard part. It's like, it's so interesting that it's the United States. It's the United States, right? That's unique country. Such a unique country. Uh, so like it's like that's why like when I talk to conservative people, I have problems often with Americans because you guys care so much about freedom. I do too, but like it's an individual, like you can take care of yourself kind of freedom, right? It's different from our way of thinking, I think. So it is really weird. So I have so when it comes to vaccination too, conservative people in the US are against like mandatory vaccination, right? You don't want to you want to pick what you do. Over here, you can basically pick, but we majority of people here from since when we are very little, we get vaccinated in school. I remember lining up in a gymnastic like hall, what I don't know what to call it, but in our school, we would get together and get shot. And that was our thing in elementary school, and that's what we were doing. And we have you guys were against Obamacare. Of course, like installing in the way that he was saying at the timing of the economy and so on, probably not a good idea because it will attack middle class. But over here, though, we have that insurance system already. So the premise is different, right? But the problem that has been happening recently is because conservative people in the US are against vaccination. I get that. Like it's American thing. I get that. But over here in Japan, we have different premise. But there are Trump supporters, right? And they want to copy what American conservatives are saying. They try to install their like American way of like American conservatism to Japan, and it just doesn't work, right? Everybody looks at them weird because like, so are you against all the vaccination that you actually received? And doesn't like each country is different, but some people don't get it. So it works because you guys are all one race or ID of people. Even Korean, man, there are lots of Korean people. It's declining, but 10 years ago when I looked it up, it was like 600,000 Koreans living in Japan. Yeah, 600,000, right? 1, 10, 100, 1000. Yeah. So lots of Koreans, but I mean, they look the same pretty much, so you can't really tell. There are Korean people walking around, and you can't even tell. You just assume that they are us. Yeah. But anyway. So, like, I'm not about, I mean, the majority are Japanese, yes, but I don't know. It's about what you think about it. When I watched the movie Snowden, about him, it was I say this many times, but because it was a good movie in a way that it depicted the fight of safety versus freedom. For safety in this era, you need some kind of management to a certain degree, right? But you want to like, American people are so responsible of their own things, and it's great. Like I'm not like that, so like I depend on people. So I'm like, oh wow, that's amazing, I look up to it. But at the same time, when you try to form a society, it's like some people can just do it, right? Very responsible. They can take care of themselves. They can even, like shoot and, get rid of the bad guys and everything. Like you can do everything. But others can't. And they need to be managed and taken care of. And America is such a huge country that even each state is different. And yeah. And so if when you think about it, it's ridiculous to get even more people from like diverse people because it's diverse enough, you know. It sucks for you in that when it comes to that. You say homogenous societies and so on, but it's not really about homogenous. It's about our rules and culture. Of course, it's like it's coexisting, of course, but I don't know. You have to be here to get that sense. There are bad guys here too, but it's the culture. We monitor each other basically. Like if you look at Japanese X, it's really harsh. Japanese people are nice to each other in person. Hello. My husband is back. But on the that's because we are nice because we are expected to be. And online, though, a lot of I'm different, but because I do public stuff, but normal like ordinary people go on social media with their random picture and random name, and it's anonymous, right? And they're really savage, like they're so. And then like somebody does one thing and then everybody attacks the person. It's like, I don't know, we attack each other massively. So like that's how we maintain the peace, I feel, because we are really harsh and you don't want to be the target, so you behave. Basically you have to be good to survive, basically. So it's, yeah. It's hard to explain. I mean, I'm not saying that, homogenous side doesn't have anything to do with it. It does have a lot to do with it, but I'm saying that that's not exactly it. That's not only that. Once Japan removes Article 9, then they can wage their own wars. I support Japan defending themselves. Thank you. I really hope that Americans and other countries would say that we should have nuclear weapons. Isn't it weird when you think about it? Like, doesn't Pakistan have a nuclear weapon? And India? And all these like small countries have nuclear weapons. Even North Korea is openly developing nuclear weapons. But if you say that, oh, Japan should, have nuclear weapons, then that would change everything. China would be cautious. Like they would be, what's the word? Like they would worry about that, which I need. Yeah, but the silly part of Japan, though, is that our former prime minister says something similar to what Obama said. Basically, the world without nuclear weapons. It's important to create this like a global consensus about nuclear weapons. Like we should, like what's it called? The nuclear taboo is important to have that concept and to firmly, state that that's the vision that we need to have. That's important, but at the same time, if you say that, we have to do it. We have to follow it, right? So then, okay, so that means that we, Japanese, cannot have nuclear weapons, while our enemies are developing some. So I'm frustrated with politics. Let's see. Extreme is a small portion of opinions, Yuko. No, I'm not. I'm saying the way of thinking is extreme. I'm not saying people are extreme. Your way, because it's a cultural thing. To me, the dualism way of thinking is extreme because I come from a different background. And you have to, that's a fact to me. You might not think that way, but from my Japanese eyes, that's the fact. Because you don't know our way of thinking. That's like, of course, like, you live every day talking to the similar minded people always. Then you think that it's normal. But from different people, that is abnormal. You know what I mean? That's what happens when you talk to people overseas. What we think is normal isn't normal. It can be extreme. Right? Like, let's say, for example, Japanese people are so hygienic that we don't like to shake hands with each other. And even if we shake hands, we rush to the restroom and wash our hands because we are so hygienic. And you probably think that's kind of extreme in a way, hygiene wise. You know what I mean? Like, it's just how things are. Let's see. NASA suspiciously just put out a warning that CME on or a solar flare that could take out the internet for months. Oh yeah, the sun, right? I think they are setting up for some funny business for election time to cut us off. I mean, they could take advantage of it, but it's being reported here too. It's a world news that the flare is happening and that it could disrupt our technology. Yeah, it's not fake, but they could take advantage of it. So that's what I would, point out. I thought of something else too, but I forgot. All Obamacare did was mandate citizens to buy insurance. Oh, you had to buy insurance without addressing why healthcare in America is expensive in the first place. True, yeah. But Japanese people, we only pay 30% usually. 30%. And also elderlies, they were paying 10%, but now they are paying, like, Kishida administration, our former administration, said, like, oh, you have to pay more, so to 20% now. But elderlies, Toshiori, elderlies back in the day, they didn't have to pay anything. What? I didn't know that. Growing up, though, that's what my husband says, that when he was little, elderlies, they didn't have to pay for hospitals and so on, medical fee. So they would gather together at hospital. Because it's free, everybody can come and get treated, and they just hang out. No, not my generation, but or our generation, but yeah, something else. I think of something and then I forget easily. Hello, Hide. Hello, Hide is here. Japan is a homogeneous society, and thus that's how you are able to police each other and keep the Japanese culture endowed within the society. American culture has no such homogeneity today. I don't know about America when it comes to that. Like, I know American politics and also like a general idea of American culture, and I have a lot of experience talking to Americans, so I know the tendency of the way of thinking and so on. But when it comes to like everyday life, I've never lived in the US, so I have no idea. Yeah. And the 20 million illegals they have over here have ruined the country and it will never recover. Trump's going to try, but it's impossible to get them all out. Yeah, I wonder what's the way out would be for illegals. But you have to. What I really liked it when Texas and Florida sent all the illegals to New York. At least like you may not be able to send them out of the country immediately, but at least I guess that you can do that in the meantime of, you know, you think about the solution. That's tough though. But you have to start from somewhere though. Like I really think that you have to register all the information. You know, you have to manage the people. What's happening to the identification? Easy thing I think is to make sure that companies like when they hire people, it's important to show the identification. You know, like in Japan, when we apply to things, we have to show our card, identification card, or driver license, and on the top of that, we need several other identification papers. So like you gotta make it. I have no idea though about America. I've never lived there, so maybe you are doing that, but it's enormous though. The amount of the people is, yeah, so huge. Oh, wait, wait. Yo, yo. Thanks for coming. Isn't solar flare a Dragon Ball move? I don't know. Was it? Coronal mass ejection. Oh, it's more likely a cyber attack would happen before EMF from the sun. Ah, cyber attacks. Would it? I bet that probably in Arizona, the machines will stop working again. Like you, like, isn't it weird that every time there is the same era, same like disorder. Like, what's the company doing? You know, making that sort of machines. The Japanese people can't even understand what multiculturalism has done to the West. Yeah, I mean, I see the footage of what's happening to not just in America but in Europe as well. And also there are like foreigners here too, just so you know, in big cities. Just that it's regional right now. A few years ago, I saw a statistics in Tokyo that those who are in the 20s, the 10% were foreigners. So it's a lot of people. But and also because our economy is bad, the government is relying on sightseeing industry, and that is because especially because yen is weak right now. There are more and more people that visit Japan, which is good, dropping their money to Japan. I'm like, thank you. But at the same time, there are idiots that come to our country as well. There are lots of viral videos online now. We see every day. And Japanese people are bashing though so hard, like so much. What's interesting about Japan though, again, this is our culture, I have to tell you. So when foreigners come to Japan and do wrong things, like recently what became hot was you know how shrines, our Shinto shrine, it has a gate, right? And it looks like this. It's just, and this woman from Chile, maybe, like she's a like a gymnastic type of person. She did pull-ups, with our like sacred gate. It got so viral, and social media picked it up, right? I'm really thankful to foreigners, like good type of foreigners living in Japan that respect our culture and everyday life. Then they expose all the foreigners, like foreigners in Japan exposing other like new foreigners, and then Japanese people notice, right? And we are like, what's going on? We get mad. It becomes news, and I think she got on the news too. So usually what happens is that somebody exposed some foreigners' bad behavior on social media. And Japanese people, like on the right side, notice that. There are a lot of people online that are like right side, like leaning people, conservative leaning people. They jump on it and criticize. And then because it's really controversial and it can get like clicks and all the numbers, on social media, the mainstream media jumps on it and then they report it. And then more people learn about it, right? It's usually the cycle. I bet that it's somewhat the same in your country too. But when it comes to manners and rules and that sort of etiquette and everything, that Japan has this cultural side to really, really strongly respects the rules in society. So if you cannot obey that because everybody else is having a hard time trying to obey all the rules, if you don't make the same efforts, we will bash you. And then mainstream media will see that, they will bash you too. And then through the mainstream media, nationally, people will bash you. That's how we educate people. I'm thinking though, when it comes to like cultural properties or like religious properties, I think it would be a good idea to even just to, like, it could be just a suggestion, but we should say that, oh, death penalty to those who do that sort of activity to you know vandalize or attack, or basically just doing bad things at shrines and so on. Death penalty, even suggest that, and then people in other countries will think that we are crazy to suggest that. But then through that news, because it's so extreme, right? Extreme, that it will be the world news, and then people will watch that and realize, like, oh, Japanese people are actually angry, they want to kill us, right? Like, we have to take advantage of social media like that, I think. Oh, super chat, thank you. In recent news, Japan and Korea can finally unite on their mutual hatred for Johnny Somali. I know, he's in South Korea. Oh, I feel so bad for them. Yeah, there are copycats of him too, though. So, so in order to in order to fix that, what I was thinking, I already posted this on X, but I think that Japan, like, if we are trying to economically like get bigger through sightseeing industry, then we should hire good-hearted foreigners, you know, because those foreigners that vandalize or do inappropriate activities in public, they will not listen to us. They look down on us, right? It's a racial thing. They just look down on us. So what we need is the same type of as them, the same race as them. So we need like really buff, white man, black man, brown man, whatever man, or LGBT. Who knows? Like we need all kinds of diverse army to, yeah, we need to hire them and speak in their language to scold them. I think that's the only solution, like real solution, is that. And they explain the rules, and so then they would shut up, I think. Where is Bird up to now? Yoko's usual channel sponsor. Yeah, exactly. Where is he? This channel is sponsored by Bird Up, but he's not here. He's probably working. I bet he worked so hard that he's sleeping or something. Like he's been recently, I feel like there was a time that he was really sick and he was not really commenting. Last week he was getting better, but I don't know. I'm worried. I'm thinking of like creating a membership service, and through that maybe create a Discord server, and I can invite you in so that you guys can chat each other. And since I'm random, Yoko, I can pop in randomly. Maybe I should do that. That's something that I've been thinking about lately. Can't even do secure voting. How could Obamacare work? True. You have a lot of issues beforehand to take care of. J.D. Vance mentioned deporting 1 million a year and hope more will self-deport. I don't think it's possible with all our self-sabotaging Americans. Yeah. Yeah, it's really hard. Like, I have to say though that there are lots of immigrants, but America did take advantage of like immigrants, you headhunt the smart people and so on, and you pay well. So like Japanese people too, a lot of smart people go to America and serve in America. So we are missing the really good type of people, they just go to America. But the problem over the recent years, I think, is that not highly educated people just walking in, right? So that's a different story. But I have to say that immigration isn't necessarily bad. It's about the percentage and the kind of immigration that you allow. Right now, Europe and America is allowing it just everybody. Yeah, it's just unbelievable that people can just walk in. The places where there is Dominion machines. Oh yeah, Dominions. Machines tend to be areas that are important swing states. I know, right? Like, why do they keep using that machine if they have problem? Japanese, we do use machines too. The very first time or around, like so, like we vote by writing the names, right? Like this size of paper, we write names, put in a box. Another type of voting, we write, put in a box, so, and one more too this time because we have to pick evaluate the what you call like core people too. But so then we the first time they put in a machine and it automatically read. It's handwritten letters, but they can read the red letters and kind of, just what's the word, like make a pile, right? Different piles, and then you can and then make sure that if there are not mistakes, so then and also like there are votes that like you don't know how to read and so on. So like you just create all kinds of piles, and then at last though, you can you can send your party people or your team people, like only a limited amount of people, but they can check the pile. They can check it and claim, oh, this is wrong. This is our vote, and so on. So you can do that. So we do use machines, but yeah, Discord server. Yeah, I should do that. Ooh, you need high-profile punishments of illegal or antisocial behaviors. Yeah, like it's sending them back. I wonder what's the cost is. Maybe it doesn't cost much, because it will be they will have to pay for it themselves. I don't know. If you are in Japan, you need to respect the land. You don't need a black or white man to tell them. We do. We do. The thing is, like, if you are discriminated, people will not listen. It's just the truth. They are letting illegals because the Democrat voter base is getting smaller. I know, right? It's I don't know why the Democrats within doesn't bring it up. Like that's not the way to do it. They just want to win. Like in order to win, they do whatever it takes. That's so sad. Will Japan implement an ETA system like Thailand is currently starting to preserve criminals with visa-free access to Japan from entering? I don't know about ETA system. Where's my phone? ETA. Let me look it up. ETA system. I can't really tell. Oh, this one. Electronic thing, visa. Some kind of visa thing? Not sure. I can't really do the research right now. But to prevent criminals with visa-free access to Japan from entering. I don't know. I don't know the situation right now. Some weird things are happening though with criminals. To begin with, like I shared this on X, but this Chinese guy in Japan, I don't know if he's a visitor or living in Japan, but he ignored the rules. You know, like you're not supposed to go from this direction, but he came in with like a super fast, and then he was drinking too, I believe, and crashed and killed a man. And then so it's a very dangerous way of driving, obviously, but the sentence is not like it's somehow like weak, you know. So people were upset. Some on a judicial level, we have problems, so we probably have to get them out, you know, get the judges out. So I should probably, like, together with our election this time, we have a voting for the Supreme Court. I think is it Supreme Court? Yeah. So we need to vote them out, I guess. Let's see. Any more super chat? Oh wait, I've been talking for over an hour. I should go, guys. If no super chat, I gotta go. Yep. Open border is chaos, causing creating chaos causes people Too big for Marxism tyranny. Ah, that is true. Because you want to be managed. That does make sense. To create chaos and then impose their ideology. The new illegals give them all the rights of citizens, but without giving them citizenship. This creates a people group who only does what the politicians want because if they don't, they get sent back. Has Japan ever had female leaders like prime minister or politicians? There are lots of cabinet members that are females, but not the prime minister. Takaichi, Ms. Sanae Takaichi was close. She was on the last round to become the prime minister, and she failed. So that was the closest that we had. But Japanese women are like just look at me. Japanese women are like treated so well. We are spoiled. And if you're a female, uh, just apply for any election. Usually you get a lot of votes just because you are female. National Diet member election is a little bit difficult because depending on the regions, like some former politicians have their grounds, and so it's hard to get in as a newcomer. But like if it's on a city level, the population is declining, so you can just say that, oh, I'm gonna run for it, and put up a poster, female poster, and then you will win. Just happens because Japanese men are voting for the most part, and they like young girls. Seriously, something's wrong with this country. Oh, super chat, thank you so much. Your face, Yaka. Hope Japan does well. Thank you. Oh, thank you for your super chat. What did they teach you in high school about America during World War II? Oh, I was not really listening, to be honest. But no, what in my time, what was emphasized was the atrocity of the Japanese army. Just like you have white guilt, we have war guilt. The war guilt of the World War II. So we are taught that we are bad people that aggressed into other countries, tortured them, and we need to apologize. And it was wrong to get into the war, so we need to make sure that we will not make the same mistake again. Even if so we were nuked twice, right? And in addition to that, I know that you don't want to hear it, but I have to say. So B-29 airplanes, aircraft would drop bombs like entirely to Japan. Japan was burnt down, but whenever. So we are the victims, right? In that picture. But especially because it was children and females and old like elderly people that were living there, soldiers, like young men were out in the battlefields, right? And we got attacked. And every time though we have like a memorial ceremony and so on, though, you know what we say? We say, we shall not make the same mistakes again. By that, it doesn't mean that, oh, we should win again. No. It means that, oh, it was stupid to go into the war. We were bad people. We should not get into war ever again. And in order to not get into a war again, they say that, including the mainstream media, they say that we should not arm ourselves. Be vulnerable. So stupid. So that's the fundamental way of thinking in Japan. I'm the minority in Japan, just so you know. It's interesting every time like Chinese people, for example, like Chinese patriotic people say like, oh, Japanese right wings are this and that, and that, oh, Japan should stop the education in Japan, like history, education is wrong and blah blah blah. They don't know what they're talking about. Just because they get the patriotic education in their country doesn't mean that we are the same. Our education is something that we conservatives call like self torturing history. Yes, I'm just directly translating. Self torturing history is what we learn in school. And that's why Shinzo Abe worked so hard to change it. I believe that it's getting better, but still, like, we are just taught that we are the bad people. And so, like, it was like a karma. Like, so bad. Let's see. You guys were winners and you need to cool it down. I was a winner? What? I don't have any white guilt, just the deranged leftist too. Yeah. It's sad. I mean, to I don't like to hear uh, the the historical recognition that America had to drop the nukes to make Japan surrender. That is wrong, okay? So that's something that upsets me. But it doesn't mean that I want Americans to feel guilty over like what they did not commit and so on. Like it's on a different level. It's weird. It's sad. What's sad is that the guilt is not like, if you look into the true essence of the white guilt, it's not really about the guilt itself. It's used, it's a tool to make people feel weak and make them apologetic to so that you can impose what you want from them. And that's like basically it's what's the word? I can't find the right words. Like you using that is really disrespectful, right? So those who say like, oh, white people are bad, blah blah blah, that's actually like you're using that for the today's politics, and that is really disrespectful to the victims and so on, the true victims and so on. Yeah. Too bad Germans don't have this attitude. we conservative people actually do compare us with what German did after the World War II. It's sad though because they imposed all the what was accused of to the army and separated them from the people, imposed that to the army, and then moved on, revised the constitution and blah blah blah. Right? I would never want to do that. Like, of course, like our leaders at the time, I don't understand why we had to go into the war against America. Like, diplomatically, we lost. So, like, on a diplomatic level, we did make mistakes, I think, Like, we were weak in that way. And also like in actual battlefields, in some battles the leader was not, I don't think the strategy was good. So I have that sort of frustration. Yeah, but why was I talking about this? Oh yeah, but that doesn't mean like, we are all humans, and but they were serving the country. We can learn from their mistakes, but for not having a good strategy and so on, like we can learn from that, but it doesn't mean that we should we should impose whatever bad onto the people and move on. They were there for our country, believing in what they thought was good. They were doing their best. So we have to like like I'm here like this, you know. I'm not colonized. Japan remained the same because of them, and so I don't want to, you know, put guilt onto them, you know. Yeah. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Sad they trick so many well-meaning people. Yeah, good-hearted people are taken advantage of. I love the self-torturing history. That's actually amazing. That's what's going on here. Yeah, I think self-torturing will be self-hating for us. Yeah, I don't know. It's just in our words. It's used the character torturing, self-torturing. Like I'm just darkly translating. Oh, Bird Up is here. Cheers, Yoko. I can't send super chats for a while. I had to pay off some pretty big bills. Oh, okay. Thank you, though, for telling me and everything, for coming. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Biggest sponsor of this channel, guys. Let's see. Guilt is meant to break down the people. Yeah, consider who you are now, progress made, and what you do now. Yeah. The like we so it's really, don't you think it's amazing that Japan and America uh, are here today the way we are? Like, of course, like earlier in this live stream I was saying all sorts of stuff, and I bet that some of you were annoyed. And we have minor things like that, but like we used to be enemies, right? Isn't it crazy? So sad. What's interesting though is that before the World War II, or even in the middle of the World War II, I hear that some people watched like American movies. So it's not like we had to hate each other, but we went to the war. But anyway, but we are like Japanese people, of course, like we got all the damage, you know, by the bombings and nukes and so on. And also Americans, you know, they still accuse the Pearl Harbor and everything, right? Like you have your way of thinking, and even with that, even though like we have all this like past events, like we know about what happened and so on, but still like we came to each other, and we are looking at the common things, common enemy, and we are moving forward, realizing that we actually understand each other like value wise, and we are one of the strongest allies in the world. Isn't that amazing? Like no other countries have done this. I don't think like we are attached, right? Does that happen in the world? I really think that it's really precious, like what we have. Yeah, the Soviets encouraged the Japanese to go to war with America. Yes, exactly, to get them off their borders to of fight the Germans. Don't worry, Soviets tricked FDR as well. Yes, they did. The book Stalin's War covers it nicely. Oh, cool. Yeah, we have learned that as well. Like both Japan and America were like both sides, the Soviet Union spies were inside, you know, on the top level. Like, how can you like allow it, right? It is crazy when you think about it. But back then, they didn't have what we have today, like technology and so on. But still, yeah, it's so interesting that Russians, you know, even back then and today, somehow Russians are really good at information war. Why is that? What? Why are they so good at information war? Huh? I hate to say, but I think it's harder for women to understand what's going on. No, I think that we just stand on a different grounds. Those who want to make you a globalist country will say we be nice but give up your sovereignty and you being solo. Huh? Those who want to make you a globalist country will say be nice. For your safety. Getting us now, we were similar culture wise. History inform us to be unaware of it. Affiliation will not allow you to move forward. Yeah. Japanese people tend to be cool anyways, friendly, family focused. Yeah. Yeah. Especially after the World War II, our like both countries grew, grew. uh, and economically wise, we got developed a lot, and our living standards are similar. And also, the Japanese people have the tendency to. It's not because of the guilt and so on, but we have the culture of improving kaizen. Even Tony Robbins have has written it in his book too, like a self-development guy. Yeah, we have the concept of kaizen, like improvement, and we like from a long time ago, like we would try to learn from Westerners a lot. Back in the day, it was China, like Chinese, different types of Chinese people, different tribe was in China, and they were advanced at the time, so we would learn from them. And then or recent era, like in the 1800s or so, like our people would travel to Europe and to learn what they know. And yeah. And so what I mean is that we kind of adjust ourselves to the Western world because we know how they are. they we know that they, like, even the Olympics, when Japan becomes good, they change the rule, and then change it to serve, like, to work better for them. So then Japanese people are keep up again, and then they change the rules. That happens all the time, even in sports, in politics. But so we adjust ourselves, like it's just how we are, I guess, that we are. Like, Japanese people have good ideas too, but I'm realizing though that Japanese people are good at improving, as I said. And it's not like our own invention and so on. It happens sometimes in, like, scientific field sometimes, but still, or I mean, like electronical stuff, but usually, like, we learn from other countries. Men win the wars and escape the land so the women can talk about the view. I don't know what you're trying to say by that. Like, if you think the females are not, like, if you think that females can't understand you, it's not that because of they are females, but because the kind of females that you talk to, and you're used to talking to stupid women, and so therefore you want to think that whenever there's some kind of disagreement, you want to think that I'm stupid, or that I'm not getting it. Doesn't mean that I'm not logical or I don't have the intelligence. It just speaks about you. I am actually highly trained when it comes to listening to people or to have a broad perspective because I never insist my own opinions. I am doing it now, but on a daily life, I listen to people all the time. I don't speak. I just listen all the time. I'm quiet. It's interesting every time that when I see people offline, uh, back, especially when I was back in like making videos in Japanese, I was so loud, speaking constantly for the videos like I am doing right now with this stream, but I keep talking and talking and talking, right? But this is because I am here to deliver my perspective, my information. And but when I see people in real life, I don't have to do that, right? It's not my show. So I collect information from other people because I know what I want to say. I already know what I want to say. I don't have to say that to others. So I only speak when it's needed, right? So when I meet people, they tell me like, "Oh, you're actually quiet." Like, "Oh, you are really Random Yoko." Like, you're different in real life and blah blah blah. I'm like, I don't know. Japan learns what strengths others have, incorporate those, make it your own. The US also goes there. We also incorporate others into our country. Yeah, I like that sort of like international communication to learn from each other. It's always like it lifts me up. Unfortunately, our shifting policy, left to right, right to left, causes fatal interruptions to continuous constant improvement in the US. Ah, interesting. That's interesting. I'm going to jail for Yoko taxi evasion. Yeah. I have to send people. I have to send my bird to pickle you. Where's my tax? Where's my tax? Wait, you are out of the picture. Okay. Anyway, it's been long. I should go, guys. No more super chat. I'm gonna go. Japanese and Oriental people are considered basically white in the US now. That's what I'm realizing though. Like, it's weird because 10 years ago, up until 10 years ago, like, yeah, like before Biden administration, yeah, I should say, I never really thought about Korean people close, because world was in order, right? Up until then, like before Biden administration. We like Putin was still in Russia. He was not coming out much. Like he took Crimea, but that's all, right? And Xi Jinping didn't really. The threat has been always there, but anyway, it was all in order. But now it became chaotic. Not only in the U.S., the southern border, but also Europe became really like flooded with immigrants and so on, and it's not the same anymore. And then our country too, we have lots of tourists now. It's good for economy, but at the same time we are starting to see problems with all the visitors. And I realized like, oh, Koreans, the who we thought we had problems with, we realized like at least for like living standards and so on, they are developed, like us, and we don't have problems living together in a society. Only the like historical recognition is on, we have problems, or territorial disputes, we have problems, but we can talk it out. We are debating, actually. We are not using force or anything. Sometimes they throw poops though for some reason. But for the most part, we are able to talk to each other. And I realized that, but other kinds of foreigners, like non-white people, though, for some reason, like they can damage our country and so on. And I realized, like, oh, Koreans were actually good to us, in a way. Like, they are still foreigners, but they were the closest to us, That's what I'm realizing. Like, I didn't really think about what we think about now. All the damages to Japan and so on. So that's really interesting. Oh, super chat, thank you. What kind of conspiracies do the Japanese believe? Here in the USA, we think 9/11 was caused by Israel as a conspiracy. For example, there are people that believe a lot of stuff. Conspiracy theory came into my radar when the huge earthquake hit Tohoku area, by Fukushima disaster. Fukushima. When the earthquake hit there was this conspiracy theory that it was an artificial earthquake. I'm like, how much energy do you have? But shake the ground that much and blah blah blah. But yeah, artificial earthquake, and then it was somehow U.S. Navy or whatsoever that did that in the ocean. I'm like, by whose order? Like U.S. Navy or U.S. military? Who? Right? But yeah, people like that conspiracy theory for a while. Like my real friend, was deeply into that because her boyfriend was into it. And I was, with a serious face, I was told, like, oh, Yoko-san, you don't know the truth. I was blown away. Yeah. But other than that, 9/11 too, some people say that the crash was not, like, it crashed in a weird way, and like they hear the talking points from the theory in America. Oh, there were bombs in the building and so on. And what else? The election was stolen. Is that sort of, you think it's true? I have no idea, so I can't really label it to anything. But what else? Israel, the cute conspiracy theory that we used to have, we were hearing before that Jewish people and Japanese people have the same roots. That's what we used to hear. And especially conservative people liked it because we liked Jewish people a lot. Because they are rich, they are smart, they are somehow, running the world. Basically Russian propaganda from a long time ago, like Jewish people are controlling the world. If they are controlling the world, why are they having a problem? but they like stuff like that. And some people, spiritual people, say like, oh, Jesus Christ was here. Or was it Moses? Like somebody was here and changed their name to Japanese, and some famous Japanese figure is Christian, actually, like a Christian person, or I don't know. Like we have lots of fairy tales like that. I wonder what else. Oh, and the vaccine situation. Anti-vaccination people here just make stuff up. That, oh, like the recent one that I saw was like, oh, I went to, get myself checked for coronavirus, and then the person posted a picture, and then the person said like, oh, and this came out, right? And then on their fingertip, is it fingertip? Like, and then there's some super tiny microchip on the finger, and then there's a picture of it was posted. And like, ugh. I'm like, are you serious? And sometimes like they are serious person, I mean serious people, and those who make a parody of that. So I don't know how many people are truly buying it and how many others are making fun of it. So that sort of stuff. Yeah. Oh, Sebastian, thank you. How often do people get vaccinated in Japan? Did you get many vaccines when you were younger? Every year. It's not like every year because it depends on the kinds. Flu shots are very popular in Japan. My dad gets every year. You know, we don't want to get flus. So like those who have lots of interactions, they get flu shot before the winter and so on. And growing up, you know how children get disease, like that can be mortal. What's the word? That can kill children, and so on, or suffer, right? Uh, because especially because children have lots of interactions like physical contacts. uh, yeah, we got a lot of stuff. How many? I have no idea, but at least 3 or 5. I have no idea. But it was a common thing. But it's not like every year, though. I don't think. I don't even remember because I didn't even care because it was a thing for us. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that you can Google it and get the results of like how common is it to get vaccinated in Japan. Yeah. Sorry. Sorry, I don't have the clear answer to that. Yeah, but it's a thing. Like it is so common that when COVID-19 came around, some people were saying that, oh, like in the beginning Japanese people were not really getting COVID-19 at first. It developed, like the virus changed themselves. So then we had to keep up with that. But at the beginning we didn't really get it. So some people were saying overseas that, oh, maybe it's because Japanese people are getting vaccinated a lot. Yeah. Another super chat, thank you. How often does your dad get the flu? Never. I never get the flu. I mean, because he is getting the shots, so we don't know. But he has no problem with his body. He's old though. I never get the flu, and I have never had the flu shot in my life. Huh? I don't do that for flu. But when I was working at the instrument store in a mall is where a lot of people comes in, and I was sleep deprived too, so my immune system was not working well. So I had this really heavy flu. So then I had to go to the clinic though. But yeah. But it's popular. It spreads a lot in Japan because in some cities especially, like it's really the population is dense, you know. You know how trains are in Tokyo, packed with each other. That's why Japanese people wear masks a lot. I know the conservative people in America don't want to wear masks. I don't want to wear it too, but I want the people to wear it because it does prevent, for the most part. Like COVID-19 is really small and it can go through, but uh, usual germs and so on, like you can prevent for the most part. So yeah, Japanese people care about that. Yeah, I don't like to put things in my body much, but yeah. And as for COVID-19, I got 2 shots, and then the world kind of changed. I was not meeting people anymore, so I stopped taking the shots. So I only got 2. I wonder which kind was that. Probably Moderna. In Japan, it was Pfizer or Moderna. There was one other kind, but it was having issues. I forget. At first, though, when COVID-19 came to Japan, I mean, I have all the archives of live streams, so you can probably go back in time to catch up with, what I was saying before. But yeah, at first, when it began to spread and when vaccine arrived in Japan, uh, the kind of adults that I talk to for work, right? Political people, they were like, "Oh, did you get shot? Did you get a shot?" We were talking about that because we had to protect ourselves. We all understood the danger of vaccination. Like it was not tested, like it was made quickly, and it was not tested like uh, other shots, right? So there was a risk, but we put it on a, what you call this? we compared, like which risk do you want to take? The risk of the disease and get the after effects. Is it effects like you lose the sense in your tongue, ear, and so on? You want to take that risk, or for the most part, it's said to be safe, but do you want, but you never know, like, do you want to take that risk? So it's like a red pill, blue pill, whatever uh, kind of thing. So, yeah. Bushidoki is Yoko's sponsor this week. Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Because without you, I should be going. But I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. It really helps, like I need the motivation to do these live streams. Like I give a political commentary and political information to others, but of course, like I need to live. So like it's really nice to receive all this super chat and so on. By the way, did you notice though? Like I told you at the beginning, but this is on my iPad, so it's working perfectly this time. So I guess that the reason why I was crashing was because of my laptop, not the Wi-Fi, right? Yeah, it's probably the fan of my laptop. I was in Japan last January for the first time. It was great. I came from politically correct Western Europe via Dubai. Ooh. Japan is fine the way it is. Oh, thank you. Did you enjoy Japan? Cool, cool, cool. January is so cold though in Japan. I wonder where you went. It snows here. Man, I really every time I talk about snow, I remember our Hong Kong girlfriends in Hong Kong. There were Hong Kong independence people. They because China, communist China, is expanding to to Asia. To other Asian regions. These young people wanted independence in Hong Kong, not just democracy. They wanted independence, which I supported fully. But unfortunately, Hong Kong was taken. But anyway, like back when I was, you know, me and my husband were in touch with them. They came to Japan to, to just to travel, and then it was in January one year, but they didn't. They were waiting, excited about the snow, but it didn't. And the day after they left, it snowed. I felt bad for them. Speaking of being asleep deprived, I'm going to bounce out. Okay, thank you guys. I mean, thank you, Kuramberry Langer. Thank you. Yeah, I should go to. I don't know short since I was like 4 years old. Whoa. Where are you from, Bushidoki? You're lucky. Plenty of people. The problem that I see is that What's interesting is that in developed countries, we don't have strong immune system. Japanese people, we wash our hands all the time. Even I even carry like this alcohol bin to sanitize my like sanitizer. I use that all the time when I'm out, and we are so we don't walk into the house with our shoes on and everything, and but that's good because we can prevent like most diseases, but our immune system is declines that way, right? Food too. I When I go abroad, I can't eat or drink the what they are consuming, the local people are consuming, because I will get sick because I'm that weak. Why? Because of my high standard living in Japan. So it's kind of weird that we are developing, but we are getting weaker. And because we are getting weaker, we need the medical things. So, yes. It's good for you that you have a good system, but not everybody has that. But vaccine is something that you can't really tell because like it's there to ease the pain and so on, or like even if you, especially when it comes to COVID-19 uh, or coronavirus, I don't know what it is today, but it doesn't prevent you from getting coronavirus. It's there to minimize the damage. That's what people get it wrong. So I bet that others are the same. It's not like you can completely do something about it. And also, so like you can't. We don't have time machines, so we can't see the both scenarios. Like if you got it, if you didn't get it, we can't tell. You know, so fear is not a good decision maker. Yeah, usually choose poorly. Yeah. There were no after effects from catching COVID. It was just a flu. I had it twice. In the first time, I was like a mild flu. The second time, I had it like a 1% fever for 2 days. Yeah, what's interesting is that it really depends on the person, right? I don't know. I have no idea how it works, in our bodies. In Japan too. See, like we are one race, as you were saying. But like depending on each person, like some people have no symptoms, but they carry the virus, and other people they just lose the senses, like nose and tongue and so on. So again, like it's um yeah, it's and also we can't really tell though. Yeah. Coronavirus is something that we need to look at in the long span of time. Like we can't really reach a conclusion yet, so I don't like to talk about it with like deciding, oh, this is this and that. Like we just don't know, and you have to accept it. Give it time. Later, like decades later, we can finally learn what it was all about, right? Mm. Yep, 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 yep. Over sanitizing is bad. I know. Yeah. However, good hygiene is important. Yeah, that's a balance that we need to have. It is difficult. So weird what we are doing. Like I do all these activities like human rights activities, right? And I meet people from overseas. And when I visited India, for example, I wanted to enjoy the food and casually drink the water and so on. But and also like the Tibetans that I met, like they were just fine there, with no makeup and everything, and they were just living freely. And I'm like, wow, that's a good way of living. But I'm like, I don't have the stomach for it. My stomach is not strong enough. So like it's sad. Yeah. I like the rice balls from the Japanese convenience stores. Oh yeah, onigiri. Yes, rice balls are good. It is a thing now though. Japanese people are consuming more rice now, I think. Or that like I see more rice ball place now, like it's a thing now. And I guess I don't know, but I'm guessing that it has a bit to do with the war in Ukraine because they have wheat, but we don't. But because of that, it's affecting our food. But guess what? Japan has rice. So I myself like I'm realizing like oh rice tastes good. So oh speaking of which, it's dinner time. I should probably end the stream. Man. Yep. You have to be exposed to germs all the time to keep your immune system active. I know, right? Immune system is good, but I have awful nasal allergies. Oh, I hear you. I hear you. I have a little bit of it's not officially allergy. Like I refuse to, admit it. But like when seasons change, I think it's one of the trees. Sugi, probably sugi tree. Yeah, like in the morning and the night, I sometimes get a little cough or not cough, sneeze. I have to sneeze and some nose run. The nose runs and so on. I don't know. Guys, I gotta go. Africa is similar. If you eat their food, you will get sick. So must eat fish instead. Yeah. Like oh man, like I like East Asian foods too, and I wanna eat that and I travel and eat that, but I know that I don't have I know that I'm gonna have a problem later, so I can't. Yeah. But anyway, oh 3 a.m. for you? Yeah, we gotta go, right? Thank you guys so much for watching, for sticking till the end, and thank you for all the super chat too, and those who those who like you guys kept me company. Thank you so much. I, I sorry, but I'm passing the sun to you. Like it's getting dark here, and my husband needs to be fed, so I gotta go. Thank you guys. Oh, so much. Patriotic gestalt. Thank you so much. Oh man, I'm looking at the wrong place. Thank you so much. My husband just exclaimed like, "Oh, go now already. Just go, just go." It's so hard to say bye. Thank you so much. I'm gonna cry. Thank you. I'm really really tearing up. Thank you. Okay, have a good night, guys. See you next week. Okay. Okay. Good night. Bye. It's here. Bye.